and then they go over and they hand you your stuff, and you go make it yourself, basically. That's... Oh, hey, Butterman. And if you notice, Butterman also has a an Otter chibi. So, props. Oh, there he goes. All right, and welcome to another episode of ARK Survival Ascended here with Darby Topknot on the ARK Server. How's it going? You can see we have Benjamin, the Otter Architect, and Little Love here to help us. That can only mean one thing. We're building today again. And in the meantime, though, we need to breed up a ton of guys to help us out with the 100 subscriber special, which I hope you guys will like. We're bringing back a fan favorite, me being the fan. And in the meantime, we're going to use this opportunity to build a little open air market. And I think it will be for fruit and stuff like that, berries, etc. But I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know the place I've chosen to build it will provide a number of challenges that we'll have to overcome. And that will let me show you guys some of the techniques I've come up with just by having to go through and build this village you're seeing right here, in how to overcome the ARK building mechanics. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is go over what the plan is for today. And you can see we're over near the docks. There are the bait shop and the animal adoption center, the tavern, the welcome center that we finished in the last episode, and this area right here. So what we want to do is build here. And I think it's going to come out to the side there at a little bit of an angle. And it's just some place that you can take a little detour, get something to eat real quick. Maybe we'll have some seating here. Maybe we won't. But it'll be someplace that you can go that will make it a little more interesting. And so what we're going to do is build out of wooden foundations. We do have, of course, the stone street, but the actual place will be wooden foundations. And it's very, very uneven ground here. So that will make us look to some techniques to accommodate that when we're building things that will actually be seen from the side. So it's not as easy to hide the changes you make in the way you build. So the other thing we're going to take a look at is how we use rails around here. And so let's go ahead and take a look. I do have some stuff on me right now. I certainly hope it is the right type of stuff. And I think, is that going to be the issue? Let's see. Let's start over here. Okay, so we want to come down one and then go out, right? So we're going to lay this out. And as I was taking a look at how this would fit, there, you see, that works just fine. Everything can stay at the same level. What you'll notice, I actually came up with a realization that, well, I'll show you in just a minute. It's in the difference in the size between these and these square ones. And it's very uniform, but fairly small. And now you'll see where our first problem is. This is simply too low to come up here. There are probably mods that'll fix that for you, but I'm going to show you how I've been fixing it as we've been building these things. So not everything that looks like it's a certain type of block here is, right? So those of you who've been around a while will know that we have some chicanery going on with this place here. And also, as we move over to here, this isn't all that it seems to be. If you look behind here, for instance, you see all that dirt. That made us do things differently with this. So these aren't actually foundations right here. And so there are some tricks you can do. And, you know, let's hope that the devs put them in there on purpose, because that would show a great concern for the community and good game development. But let's see. So we have this, and you'll notice that as we take a look from the side, that looks kind of cool, right? And whether we paint it or not, we probably won't. But once again, go ahead and drop a comment on that to let me know what you guys think. So if it's on the side, we know that one of the things we can do here is put a ceiling or a floor. And so let's go ahead, and I think I have some of those. So if you place this here, that makes it perfect from the top, right? However, we're left with a little box like that. So I'm gonna talk in just a minute about how to get rid of that. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you guys for the amazing support you've been showing. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. It really helps, and it's really gratifying to see. It's amazing that you guys show up and watch these videos. I'm tickled to death about it. So let's go ahead and get back to the build. I can, of course, put these pieces on the sides there. As you notice, it sticks out, it looks kind of weird, and all of that. So what I can't do, however, if you're looking, I can't make it snap onto this bare piece here, but if I have it like that, then I can. Okay, so that's all good. When I come over to here, though, that doesn't really help me. You know, I'm hitting Q all the way around, and it's just not doing anything for me. So what I'm going to do is go up here, and then I can snap down to there. And I'll be able to take care of all of these guys with no problem. And then if I jump up here and remove that, fortunately, it stays. And I could go into the ground here with other pieces, kind of like this cladding. Like if you remember from when we did the blacksmith, I said I used a lot of cladding and all of that with the tailor and everything as well. It's the same thing here. We could go down, but looking at this, I think it kind of looks cool having it up like this. So like it comes out from that bottom part, like that's something that's been driven into the ground. So I think we're going to stay with it like that. And what we'll do eventually is go all the way along here and close all of this stuff up. And what that gives us is something that looks interesting from over here, right? So then everything's at the same level. It all looks neat. And as we're going and walking on this street here that's made of stone, the fact that that's wooden sets it apart from what we're doing right here. And I think that in this case, that's kind of important because we don't want it to look just like a parallel street, because then why even have it, right? You can see that we come down here and we'll have steps coming down, which if we have steps means we need rails. We'll also have rails coming across here. And so I want to show you a little bit of a trick with those as well. And we will place these guys. So as we place those, we have a little bit of lag. It creates snap points, right? And so one of the things that I need to do is actually get rid of that piece so that I can not have things snapping to it. I want them to snap into here. And so we're going to bring these back out and move them over to their rail variant. You'll notice it's not letting me put that there. The reason it's not letting me do that is actually because this is there. So what I could do is I could go to place these and go like that. And so, you know, that looks great. Unfortunately, what will happen is that now I won't be able to place this in there. And so you kind of loop back around and go, okay, well, I guess I need to remove this to be able to place that, but that takes away your snapping for the rails and they go away. So there is a way to get around this, and let me see if I remember how. So we're going to go ahead and put these back, and it all has to do with snap points, right? That's the most important thing. And there are tricks you can do with putting pillars down and then taking pillars away and all that. It's not going to help you in this situation. What we basically want is something kind of like we have here. If you notice, this goes along and then that comes down And the fact that this part goes across keeps this from looking weird. It's not just hovering in the air there. So we're going to start with putting these guys down along the sides here, right? And I'm actually going to snap out one more so that we have both of those along there. And then you'll notice I can use this guy right there, his snap point, to go up to there. So once again, I'm not snapping to this. This one won't let me do it. I can't snap coming down off of this. It'll just want to go across or that way. So I actually have to come off of this one here. So, and I believe I can demonstrate that by taking that away. So, snap points matter. And once again, this server that we have running here, the ARK server, we basically run with the official settings, right? So it's collisions are on and all of that. We do have the gathering rates turned up a little bit. We didn't at the beginning, but now, you know, I think I'm like level 100 or something like that. And other people are very high level as well. So it just makes sense to turn them up now. We've done that. And we do have the breeding rates a little bit higher, and you know, well, actually the gathering rates, they're probably less than you guys would get during an event on the official server. So it's not turned up that much, but there's something going on there. But as far as the rest of the settings for building, it's all just what came out of the box. And so we have to get around those things just like you would on official. So we need to take a look at this and say, okay, do we want a place to sit? If we do, maybe we'll go out a bit farther that way and have it behind the rail. So there's like a little place to hang out there. We could have something come out this way. And if we do, then we can actually get rid of that cladding and move everything down and make the cladding out further. But for now, let's go ahead and keep it simple. And we know that rails will come off of this side as well. We'll put them behind here. But let's go ahead and start building up the stall itself. So here's a sneak peek of what we are working on for the 100 subscribers special. As you can see, our mummy pink beaver is fairly plump right now. Let's see what happens here. It should be any second. It says 0 seconds, but it's not. They have made this into, as opposed to ASE, which it counted down. Here they do it in, I guess, a certain number of seconds, and so you have to wait. It's kind of a little bit weird. So rather than counting down and being normal, it's not. So you never know when exactly you're going to get a baby. You do with the eggs, but just not with gestation. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and we'll ride Mummy out of the way. And there he is. A beautiful pink beaver. And this is RCMP 21. Hello there. And let's go ahead and feed this a little something. And you can see that the base stats are pretty good. These beavers, when we use them, they stack up pretty well. We're going to see how well they stack up in the special, though. And so let's go ahead and just change a little bit of the behavior here. And we'll do that and then tell you not to follow. And we will take Mummy off of mating and go park you back next to the daddy beaver. It did take us a while to get these two, by the way. But they have many, many children now. And so, one scare in 3 minutes, 50 seconds. We will imprint this one just to get the higher stats. But take a look at that, guys. Amazing. I know. Love does a great job taking care of these guys. They're so cute. Look at that. It's even smaller than Love. Okay, so let's see. Should be time. Wants to be hand-fed comfort food. Tinto berry. I I think I have... Those are the red ones, right? Yes. Sweet. We have these from when we were making some health brews and stuff the other day. And there's the other change. We do have it on instant imprinting. Just because when you're going to breed up a ton of dudes, this is definitely the way to go. What I'm thinking here is that you come in this way or that way and... Love, what are you doing up there? I did not know that Love was such a gymnast. Sweet. We will probably end up closing this off. I haven't yet, just in case we want to build something out here. But I think that just might be crowding the shoreline a little bit too much. And, you know, if you've ever been to a pier or a dock, you know that you really don't want to be sitting right out there. The smell is something else. So I have put these pillars here. I think that the stand will be actually right here. I might make it 2 stands, one next to right next to each other. And I will probably, just because of the limited space we have, if you take a look, probably just make it from the tables, kind of like we did in the tavern. And then over here we can have a little seating area with a couple tables and then some chairs or benches or something of that sort. Maybe over here we have a bench to sit down at. And I believe what I will do is, you know what, maybe we'll annex that spot right there. We'll figure it out. I believe what I will do is use a refrigerator out here. It should be powered off of the generator we have right there for the Dino Adoption Center. And it should be pretty simple. Then it'll be all about putting up a sign and stuff like that. Really, the initial trick was just, you know, getting this stuff done. So taking care of that, and you'll notice it looks just like the rest of it now. And then we'll have to carry that on over here and then getting those rails in place. One thing here is this doesn't look that great, does it? Let's see. If we did that, it would look a lot better. So what if we put that there and like that? So when you do these things, you generally want to bring your pillars all the way to the ground. And that way it doesn't look weird. Like one of the things that I really hate is this look right here. If you see how these wooden pillars or these wooden rails just sit here on the stone, I think it looks not that great. And so it bothers me every time I think about it, and so I try not to think about it. But we'll try not to do stuff like that. And you do that by taking your pillars, starting them wherever you're going to need them, and then going all the way into the ground on the sides. Because as you can see, this finishes that edge that was just like a puzzle piece before. And this finishes that really well. And here, with that in place, we don't have this weird thing just, you know, kind of sitting on top waiting to get toppled over with no structural support, as we usually talk about. So that makes me wonder what I will do with this right here. We'll have to figure... We'll figure something out for that. As you notice with this, there are a lot of different things that we could do. We could put higher railings and stuff like that. I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to keep this as open as possible, but maybe behind here we do have higher railings, right? And then out here is where people will want the view. This guy, he doesn't really care about the view as much. So maybe that's something to think about. So think about the way that things will be used when you're building your stuff. Dyson just came by and said that she wants me to tame this trike, who's a level 20. And I said no. And then she reminded me that she has an AP test tomorrow, and she needs good luck to help her with that. It's a test for going into university and stuff like that here in the States. So I'm gonna do it. And okay, good. I was hoping that's what would happen. So I think these guys, what did they take? Like simple kibble, something like that. But yeah, that's what we have going on. Oh, major breakthrough. We're almost done here. I'm going to do some painting and then bring you guys back, but you can get a quick look of what's going on, and we will train up this lucky trike for Dyson. So we have been working for quite a while, and through a couple nights worth of ARK time here. And what do you guys think? Very cool. And look, we have the final piece of the puzzle for the 100 subscriber special. And there she is. RCMP 21. I hope you guys can guess what we're doing. But in the meantime, we have finished this up. And so let's go ahead and take a quick look and see how we're doing there. We will take a look at this. I decided that this is going to be like a shaved ice shop. And we're going to put a sign right there. And many things were done. Many things were learned. Hey, what's up, man? There's another trike. He looks like he means business, doesn't he? Oh. And there is a Gigantoraptor. Oh, it's ButterMan. Hey, ButterMan, what's up? Amazing. So we were complaining earlier about some things, and we actually figured out a way around it. It looks like ButterMan's going to go off and level that guy up or fly around. I encourage you guys to go ahead and take a look at, once again, the cave incident, parts 1 and 2. And that will give you an idea of what it's like when ButterMan and I are on the same server. Oh, he's flapping. So, here, let's take a quick look. So if you notice something, similar guys, we decided to paint it this, I think that's called cornflower, and it's light and not like a light blue or anything like that, so it stands out from the rest. We used the bronze color again to outline these things, and so let's go ahead and take a look from over here. I think it blends into the rest of the structures really well, and this is actually convincing me that I need to paint some of these roofs. I did end up going out one angle more, and what that did was a couple things. Number one, it gave me a little bit more room. Number two, it brought the entrance of this to point at this angle right here. So these are now associated with each other, right? And so, yeah, as you see the sun coming up, I think that color works really well. And we decided a couple things. Let's go ahead and go inside like we're an employee. Just put a storage box here. These are the toppings for the shaved ice. What I'm gonna actually do is I'll make some custom recipes. And in here, if you've ever been to like a frozen yogurt shop or anything like that, how you walk up and you talk to them through that little window, and then they go over and they hand you your stuff and you go make it yourself. Basically, that's... Oh, hey, ButterMan. And if you notice, ButterMan also has a an Otter chibi. So, props. Oh, there he goes. So, that's what the deal is here. You come up here, you make your order, they give it to you, and then you go and you can do your toppings along here, right? So, hi, love. So that's the idea with this. And then we did go with this little area over here where people can just, you know, hang out. I can go ahead and sit down, watch the rafts and the boats go by, smell the bait shop and all those types of things as we're doing this. I did paint these like we always do. And here I used a drab color and mixed it with the bronze. I thought that the darker colors worked well here. Where normally we'll do something where we will... That's Dyson's trike. We don't know why she went over there. Where usually we will go ahead and do it with a color of seed and stuff like that. I thought this was better. And what I may do is I may come over here and do something a little bit lighter on certain parts of it to make it look like it's sun bleached. We do get that in California, and I think that might be really cool. So this is a very thin frame. And one of the problems I was having with that was it looked like you could blow it over. Like if you just look at this section right here, it's very, very small, right? And so I put this out here, and we'll go ahead and hop up on a bird, and then I'll show you all the cool things I discovered while I was doing this. I think it makes it look really interesting from this side. I think the colors work well, and the alternating with the bronze color and then the natural wood color, I think that works really well too, and I'm going to use that over in other places. So like I said, this convinced me that we do need to paint some stuff as far as the roofs go. But if you notice, we have that going down to the bottom there. And this part here, rather than doing, you know, kind of the same thing where we would just have a very solid thing, I'm like, okay, I don't want it to look just like an A-frame. I wanted it to have some type of texture to it. So I went with these triangles, and then I used the rails. Once again, those rails are your best friend, man. I used the rails to look like supports so that it made putting these posts here look a little bit more realistic, right? Because if those posts were just there and we didn't have those rails, it would just be coming up and touching that, and it would look really weird. But here, it looks like they're actually doing something for support. And so I thought that was pretty cool. One of the things I did throughout this, as you saw earlier, is I used the thin wooden pillars and beams and went all the way across. I'm using them to frame stuff, and I haven't really done that in this way before, and I find it to be really, really cool. It just adds that extra bit of finishing that sometimes you need. And so then if you look here, I wanted it to be like, you know, they get the breeze as well, and it's not just a closed in place. So I used railings there coming off of the top of those pillars. So if you see the pillar right there, then that comes off of the top and goes across. Then I used, and it's upside down, and I used a pillar across there, or a beam. So that's a beam and then an upside down railing there. And then up here, I did an upside down railing coming from the top as well. And so that gave us that little slat looking piece there, just to make it more interesting, right? They've put all this design into these pieces, so let's go ahead and use them. That brings me to what I discovered. If you remember, I was complaining earlier that the one thing I hate is this, where those rails that look so great on the other side, on the outside, they're just mashed up against the stone there. So they'll look pretty cool from here, but the other side, they just don't. And as I was doing this, one of the things I noticed was that the transition between the stone and the wood needed something. So I put the beams there. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe if I do it on this part, it'll look better. And wouldn't you know it, there's the capping that we've been looking for the whole time. So those are just those wooden beams, and you snap them in there at the bottom of the railing, which is really the top of the foundation there. And it just looks so much better to me. It looks like it belongs, right? It almost looks like it's cut, that it's not a cylindrical thing, that it has a notch cut in there for that foundation so it can sit there. And I think that just looks fantastic. So this made me think of that, and I think it just finishes things off really, really well. So now we just have to go cut down like all those trees that you can see there, and we'll be able to take this style all the way across and do it everywhere. So I am going to use that from now on. So there's another little tip. I mean, they're probably, you guys probably already know that, but I just thought I would share that with you guys because I just discovered this one, and it made me happy. I may take it along there as well, but so far I think that looks okay. And I didn't paint this because it's not really part of the building. I wanted the building to be painted, but the foundation not to be painted. So thanks so much for taking the time out of your day. Benjamin, what do you think about this project? That's great to hear, buddy. And we are totally looking forward to getting together with you guys to have that 100 subscriber special. And then after that, Scorched Earth has been added to the cluster here. So we are going to play it as a cluster, and we'll talk about the rules we're setting on ourselves for that, because we don't want to miss out on the harshness of level 1 in Scorched Earth, which is my favorite map. So thank you for taking the time to watch. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, all that YouTube-y stuff. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And bye for now.